Hi everyone, Jamie here, and I wanted to give you a look into the new QuickCure Clay by Ranger Ink. I'm going to be doing a series of videos. Today's just going to get you the basics, what it's all about, how to quickly use it, and then give you some tips on the product itself. So to get started, Ranger has 3 sizes available coming your way. Now these will be going out to your stores this month, March. They will be shipping out to your stores, and I just want to they've been kind of teasing you guys with this for a while, but it's finally getting out on the market, and it is an amazing product. I've been using clay since high school, and I've used everything from, you know, your standard earth clay to polymer clay to epoxy clay. I've tried it all. Air dry clay. So when I got to play with this, I was really excited about it because it's something that I feel is a great all-around mixed media clay to use. Whether you're a sculptor, you're a paper crafter, jewelry maker, this is really a game changer when it comes to making your projects. So Ranger has 3 sizes, and the first one is a 4 ounce. So they come packaged like this in a resealable bag. Okay, so this is the 4 ounce. You can see what the sizes kind of compare. You have a mid, which is an 8 ounce. And then you have a 16 ounce, the big daddy here. Now, the great thing about this clay is, yes, we have a resealable bag, but you don't have to reseal it or worry about resealing it perfectly. With some of the clays out there, if you don't get it quite closed correctly, or it sits on the shelf for a while, it ends up drying out, or it hardens and you have to put an additive to it to kind of re-stabilize it. This stuff, you're not going to have that problem. I've had a bag open on my desk for a couple months. When I first got it, I opened it up, left it out because they said it's not going to dry out on you. So I made sure I gave it a try. And I did. I left the bag wide open on my desk, and I was able to use it the same as I did the day I opened the bag, which is amazing because I can't tell you how many wasted bags of clay I have probably still sitting in my closet because I just didn't use it all the way, or I've had it for a while, didn't quite close it correctly, and now it's wasted. So one great huge benefit that I found with the QuickCure Clay is that it's not going to dry out and you're not going to waste a lot of product. So I'm going to show you kind of the beginning stages of how to use the product. So QuickCure Clay cures with your heat gun. You don't have to bake it in an oven. You don't have to have an extra toaster oven just for your clay projects. You don't have to wait a couple of days, depending on where you live, for it to dry. So this is a great way to get those projects done and going. You can work on a few at a time if you want to. Also, because it doesn't dry out, you can work on a project unlimited time. So you have no time restraints against how long you work on a project. So I can start a project if I run out of time with the kids and family and everything. I can come back the next day and continue sculpting on it. And I don't have to worry about the pieces drying out or in that in-between stage like other clays. So that's another great thing, is you can work on it as long or as short as you want. You don't have to rush because you have an epoxy type clay that's going to cure on you in the middle of the process. You don't have to worry about it drying out like paper clay and polymer. This is a polymer based clay. That's probably the closest relation you'll find between the clays, but again, it won't cure until you hit it with a heat gun. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a few of the how to actually cure it, how it forms, things to look for when you are curing it, and then days to come I'll show you how to add mediums to it, how to use it in molds, and we'll go from there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so I'm going to show you how to use the clay. The simple steps of how you cure your clay. Now, some of you may have a little bit of a sensitivity to the clay, just like any other art medium. I have a couple of the mixed mediums like the gel mediums that I kind of have sinus issues with. I haven't had any issues with this clay in particular, but if you have any skin sensitivities, you may want to use some non-latex gloves when you're handling it, or just try it and see how it reacts. I haven't had any reactions. I've been using it for a couple of months now, but everyone is different. You also want to make sure that you heat this in a well-ventilated area because it does give off plumes. When it cures, you want to use a fan or just make sure that you're in an open space. Just like any paints and mediums, you want to make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. So with this clay, as I said before, you heat it with a heat gun. You don't need any type of kiln or oven to heat it. All you need is a nice little heat tool. So I'm using Ranger's Heated Craft Tool to cure the clay. The clay is not going to harden until you actually heat it. You don't have to mist or cover it to keep it pliable. It'll stay just like this out in the open until you're ready to cure it, which is really great. It's going to only take you a couple minutes to cure your piece instead of hours or even days, depending on your medium. Now, I'm going to just show you real quick. I'm going to sculpt a little leaf here. I can use it later on onto another piece. You can mold or sculpt into it. You can use tools with it. You can use molding blocks. You can use stamps into it. You stamp into it. We're going to get into that in another video. There's a lot of different, I mean, basically anything that you've tried with polymer or air dry clay, you can definitely do with this clay. Okay. So I'm going to kind of just play with it a little bit, show you how soft it is to work with. I'm going to press these outside edges out and then I'll redo my little lines here. If you feel that your tool is sticking to the clay, you can come in. I'm going to add just a little bit of water. I don't want a lot. You can add a little bit of water to that. It'll glide through a little smoother. I'll be sharing with you on my Facebook page as well as my website different projects that I've been creating with the clay. Now I can put this on a nonstick mat, which I'm going to grab that real quick. I don't want to heat it on my backdrop because it will stick. I'm going to put this on here. I can kind of curve it if I wanted to. Okay. And then once you're ready to cure it, you just hit it with your heat gun on one of the edges. I'm going to move my other piece away. So depending on what the temperature is in your area will determine how quickly the curing process will begin. I'm going to give you an up-close look at the clay as it cures. You can see once the heat begins to process across the clay, there's a small variation of color and texture as the heat cures through the clay. You'll also see a small plume of smoke. That's normal. That's part of the curing process. And once the clay is completely cured, that will stop and go away. And within less than a minute, we now have a small little clay piece we can add to our projects. And it's as simple as that to use the QuickCure Clay. Once the clay is cured, it may be a little bit warm to the touch. So you'll want to just let it sit, or you can submerge it in a glass of water. If you're working on a smaller scale like this, you could put it into a glass of water and it'll help it cool quicker. Now you can use this with, it won't dissolve in water. Now I can, once this is completely cooled, I can paint it, I can alter it, but look at how quickly it took to cure our clay piece. If you teach workshops, this would be a great medium to introduce into your workshops, whether it's mold making, jewelry making. You can use these on the front of art journals. If you're a sculptor and you like to teach small sculpting workshops, this is a great medium to use because you can get a class done within an afternoon and have plenty of time for them to actually paint and finish the project. QuickCure Clay, a few safety things with clay, with any medium. Don't eat it. I mean, you know, that's kind of a given, but don't eat it. You can wear gloves to, you know, while you're working with it. I prefer not to because I use my fingers a lot as tools. Washing your hands after working with it, you'll notice kind of a tacky finish when you're working with it. Just wash it with regular soap and water. I even use just baby wipes if I'm working at my workstation. It will get hot, so just make sure that you're taking care when you're touching it. And also use a well-ventilated area like I'd said earlier, because it does give off a plume of smoke. You just want to make sure that there's air movement where you're using it. But that's kind of the basics of the clay. Again, we have 3 sizes. It's the 4 ounce, you have our little 8 ounce, and then 16 ounce. These will be suggested retail price is $9.99, $14.99, and then $19.99. So that kind of gives you an idea of what the retail is going to be on this product. You get a lot of medium for that price. Again, you're not going to be wasting a lot of the mediums on, you know, mishandling or not storing it correctly. Things like that will really help you make your product last and go a lot further. I wanted to show you a small little piece that I did using a mold, and I pressed it in the mold, put some of the alcohol mixatives over the top with some glossy accents. I put some Swarovski crystals on the back, but it's lightweight. You could wear it as jewelry, which is nice. When it dries, it's light enough to where it is wearable. You can, I mean, just the possibilities are really endless with this new art medium, and there's nothing you're going to find out there like it. So I wanted to give you a little introduction to the medium, and in the days to come, I'll go into how you can stamp into it, how you can put it into molds like I did for this jewelry piece, and how to use art mediums over the top of it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I can't wait to see what you create with the new QuickCure Clay by Ranger Ink.